Hey dreamers, this is Jade. Welcome or welcome back to my channel. I got a question about my One Piece anime media journal, about how I do it and how I put it together. So I'm gonna try to quickly walk you through the steps that I take to download my pictures and images that I like to use and arrange them in my Silhouette Studio and get them all print and cut and ready to use and put into my media journal. So let's go ahead and start out. First of all, I usually have 3 screens open, and I need all of these screens so I can do what I need to do. First, I usually have the One Piece fandom wiki episodes open here, as you can see, and I stopped on episode 466 as far as getting the pictures downloaded and stuff like that. What I like about this is it always has all of this crap for some reason. However, it does give you a synopsis of what happened in the episode. So you usually have a quick synopsis, which is the short summary, and then you have a longer synopsis, which is the long summary. And so I usually quickly just skim the first summary, the short summary, to figure out what was going on in this particular episode. And I actually think I've gotten 466. God, can I talk? 466 already. So I'm going to do 467. And basically what I do is just I come up to the top and type in 467. And this will change and give me episode 467, as I said, and then it gives you all of this crap for some reason. And then you just scroll down for the short and long summaries. Now, as an addendum to that, I also have another window open, or tab open I should say, and I just type in One Piece anime in whatever episode I am looking for. So this one will be 467, and this should give me some corresponding pictures of what happened during episode 467, and this is where I usually download my pictures from. This, and if I can't find something I like here, then I have also found this other page. It's kind of like another wiki page, I guess, but it just has screenshots from the actual episodes. And basically what I do is just go up here and change it here. So as you can see, it gives you this whole long whatever. I just go to the episode number, click on it, and change it to whatever episode I'm looking for. So this will give me screenshots for episode 467. Now, the only thing with this is I have found every now and again, it does not have screenshots. So I usually just find it when I do this here. Find whatever screenshot I want to use. However, most times it's there. And every now and again, there's not too much summary here, but most time it's there. So I just kind of fill it out and whatnot, whatever. So here we have, I am like in the middle of Marineford, or Marineford just started. And so I'm on 467, and this is a quick synopsis of what happens in 467. And so now I have read the quick little synopsis here of what's going on, and basically Luffy has finally entered Marineford, and he's going after Ace to save his brother, and we have a whole lot of shenanigans going on and whatever. But Luffy and his band of pirates from Impel Down are finally there, and so I'm just going to look for a a picture that I want to go with it. Now, I really do like these pictures here, but I think what I love the most is from the screenshots. So I'm going to go over here, because this to me just gives like the Avengers assembling or whatever. So Luffy, and these are all the pirates that came with him from Impel Down to help him save his brother Ace. And so I really like this image, and this is probably what I'm going to use in my media journal. So I'm just going to right click, save image. And I like to keep track of it by the number of the episode and whatever arc it's in. So as you can see here, I have the different arcs spelled out that I've gone through. Right now I'm in Marineford, and this is episode 467. And then I'll just come up with the title. So I'll be like Avengers Assemble or something like that, so I know what it is. And so they're going after Ace. And so I just save that there, and it'll show up in the Marineford folder here. And as you can see, here's my Marineford folder, and here's 467. And as you can see, the rest of them that I have saved already are are by the numbers first. To me, it's easier this way, because when I'm going through, because I save them in my journal, when I'm journaling and keeping track of the episodes, I save them by episode numbers of what I watched that day. So it's easier for me to keep track this way, and then also much easier when I'm ready to get my images down in, what do you call it, in this software here. It's the Silhouette software. I can do it by the number and the arc that I'm in, and it keeps everything kind of pretty much in order for me and everything like that. And so it's easier to go through and journal exactly what I need for that week or whatever. So that's basically what I do here. I'll save one other picture so you can kind of get an idea of what I'm doing here. And so again, I will go back through. Since I've done 467, I need to go to 468 and do that for each of the ones that I use. So 468 here, and the synopsis episode for 468. Come on. All right. So I'm just scrolling down to the short summary here. I'm going to read over really quickly, and then I will figure out a excuse me, image that I want to save to represent this episode here. Now, if there is episodes that kind of run together and it's kind of given the same imagery, sometimes I won't even bother saving a picture for the episode. It'll just carry over, but it doesn't happen too often. So I do try to do a picture per episode, but it's not every single time that I do it. So you just have to see what works for you, and everything like that, as far as media journaling, whatever anime or whatever it is that you want to do. You just have to kind of fill it out. This has been a lot of trial and error for me, and it's also been, I'm still kind of learning and figuring out what works for me, what doesn't work for me, how many episodes a night I should consume, how many I can get away with consuming without going overboard, etc., etc. So yeah, I'm going to read this here really quickly and come back to you. Okay, so I've read over this little short summary, and of course Luffy is going towards the scaffold with Ace, and he's meeting a lot of different people that he needs to defeat or whatever. One person is Smoker and Tashigi. They've had their battles before, and Smoker is a little more difficult to defeat because he is a Logia type. He ate a Logia type, what do you call it, devil fruit or whatever. Anyway, he gets taken down really quickly by Smoker because Smoker has like a sea prism stone on the end of his thing. And Hancock, though, which is one of the 7 warlords of the sea here, Hancock, about Luffy, she's like, my man, my man, my man. She's very delusional, but we're gonna let her have that right now. And so she takes on Smoker, and so Luffy can continue on trying to save his brother. And so I think I really like this image here, and so I'm going to save that because Hancock was not having it when it came to Luffy here. And again, doing the same thing, I will go to the One Piece anime. I don't know why it gets switched sometimes. And I'm in Marineford, and this is episode 468. And I'm just gonna put that my man, because I know what's going on here. And it's just a reference for me. So basically, this is what I'm saving here, and that's it for this part. This is basically how I get my images and how they correspond to each episode and how I save it so I can know which episode I'm on, etc., etc., etc. And so the next part, I will take you through how I arrange my images on my Silhouette. and get them ready to print and cut, so I can use them in my journal. So yeah, anyway, let's get this done here and I will show you the next part. Alright dreamers, I'm going to show you how I transfer my pictures into Silhouette Studio. There are also a couple other programs that I use that I may need to use just in case, and I'll show you that when it comes up. So let's go ahead and get started. I left off from where I'm at. I know I showed you 467 but from where I am in the anime and what I need to get printed and stuff, I need to start at 400. So this is episode 400, and as I said, this is why I number them so I know what I'm putting where or whatever. So yeah, I'm going to just pull this picture in over here, and I typically like to put them as a width of 1 inch here, and I just kind of pick and choose, but mostly any square pictures like this get 1 inch. Now if it's a square picture that has multiple frames in it, I think I do 1.25 inches, but we'll get to that. So here's another one here. I will just pull this in, and I can't try to keep them in order, so when I'm getting them down, I'll also have them in order. So yeah, and I just go up here and do 1 inch, and it'll give you as close to 1 inch as possible. See, this says 1.001, but yeah, so that's pretty much what I do here, and we're gonna go through. See, now this is one that has multiple frames in it, so I'm gonna drag this in here, and as you can see, it has this frame, this frame, this frame, this frame, and see, these are all different. These are all different moments in one episode. So if I do this, I want to make it just a little bit larger so it's easier to see. And so usually I will just put 1.25 inches as the width, and it'll go down to that. So as you can see, it's a little bit bigger than just the 1 inches there, but yeah. And so I'm just going to continue on doing that. Hold up, I missed one. See, going so fast. Let me move this over because I need to pull this in. This is another 1 inch. Alright. And for me, when I'm putting these images on here, I try to use as much space as I can, and so I'm not wasting paper. So I try to get as much on there as I can, but keeping it in order. So like if I come down, if I get 2 weeks worth of stuff on here and there's still a lot of space, I'll fill up the space with extra images of One Piece, just so I can have at random if I need to stick one down to notate something random about One Piece or whatever. But anyway, continuing on, so I will put this here. Now here's one that I typically would like to try and see if I could remove the background and just have Luffy there, and I will show you that, but I think I'm gonna do both just so I can make the decision once I'm getting my media journal done. So I'm going to put this at 1 inch here, and these are the extra programs that I use when I'm saying that. So I'm gonna put that up there, and my extra programs, I need to come into I need to come into what do you call this, Firefox, and I already have them like here in my ones where I can just click here, and so I will use the remove background one. And then if I have an image where remove background doesn't work, like you can only do pings, JPEGs, or whatever, and there's some it won't take, like the web ones, like this one where it says WEBP, or like the AVIF ones, it won't take that. So what I do then is I come here, and there's a program called Convertio. These are both free, so I use these both free, And if I needed to, so like I'll show you just so you can see, this is WEBP. Now I already have it in Silhouette. Silhouette takes it fine. But if it didn't, I would come in here, choose the file, and just drag and drop it here. And once I've dragged and dropped it, I want to choose what I want to turn it into. So I typically just choose JPEG and do convert. And it'll do its little thing here. As you can see, it says it's converting. And now it's ready for me to download as a JPEG. So I will hit download, and my downloads come up here. And now it is a JPEG, and I will just drag and drop it where I had it. So it's the same image. As you can see, I typically end up getting rid of the one that doesn't, it's not compatible, and you'll keep it. And then that's what you want to put here. So if I had one that where I wanted to get rid of the background, but it was like a different thing that remover didn't take, I would convert it first, and then I would go here into the remove image and see if it takes it. Most times it'll get rid of the background, and sometimes it looks a mess, so I just leave it as is. So we'll see if this one, see, this one took the background just fine, took away the background just fine. So once that's done, then I'll come here and just hit download, and I'll do the preview, which is free, and it'll download up here, and it says remove preview ping. So it's the same one, same image. And I'm just going to go down here. And so as you can see, I have it here. But I'm also going to drag and drop this just in case I prefer the one without the background. And I usually do an offset because of the way I print it and the way the sticker needs to be cut. So I do a quick offset. I don't like a whole lot of white space around my stickers. And I try to do as minimal as possible. So that's what I do here. So as you can see, there's a little bit of an offset, but not like terribly so. And I typically keep it at 0.015. And then I'll also go here and change the line style, which is basically the offset color. So I know when I'm ready to cut, to just print the to just have it cut around the purple color and not the red color. I hope that makes sense. It's a little different, and I'll group those together. And let me do the plus, it might be easier for you to see. So as you can see here, I'm trying to get close. The image came in, and you can see a red line around it first. Now I did the offset, and I don't want the offset to be the same color that the typical red is, because I don't want it to cut the red. I want it to cut just the purple. So it'll have a little outline around it, but not terribly so. And so I did go ahead and group it together, the purple and the the offset color and the image. I grouped it together, so there you go. I'm gonna squeeze out a little bit more here. And I typically make these a little bit larger just so you can see them and whatnot. So I think I'm going to come up here and do 1.25. There. And when you're doing this as well, you need to make sure that you're not obstructing the cut marks here. So you can, as you can see, you don't want anything obstructing the, what the hell is the name of these things? Of course, the name escapes me right now. It's just the print marks. You don't want anything obstructing the print marks. But that includes this little black thing here. And then over here where you can see, I have it set real low, so I can get as much space as possible. But you see where it's square here and it has the X's and stuff? You don't want anything in that area obstructing it. So yeah, just make sure of that. And I'm going to come back out here, leave it about right there. Nah, maybe one more. And continue on doing what I'm doing here. So I have that one. And then this is the next one that needs to go. And again, I just come up here and do 1 inch. All right. And I do believe I'm done with Sabaody right now. And I need to move on to the next arc, which is Impel Down. So as you can see, let's see. Sabaody, 407. That was the last that I needed from here. And it should pick up in Impel Down with 408. Yeah. No, that's not right. No, my bad. I'm skipping an arc. After Sabaody, Luffy ends up in Amazon Lily. So this should be 408, yeah. Luffy ends up in Amazon Lily for a short time, and then he heads to Impel Down to save his brother. So yeah. Anyway, here's 408. Getting that in here, and I am going to just put that at 1 inch. And I will continue doing this. And I'll show you, I'll pop back in with the voiceover or whatever if I have to remove a background and stuff again. And then I'll just kind of speed everything up and show you how I get everything done. So, yeah. So, I'm just going to continue on doing what I'm doing. This is 409. Now this Luffy here, I think I want this without the background, so I'm going to just drag him in here and do that, and hopefully it'll take the background. If not, then we'll just have it with it. It took the background just fine. So preview and move this back over here. All right. That's not what I meant to do. Okay. And again, I'm going to offset Luffy. Come up here and change the line color to this purple. And then group them together, so it's not an issue and she could find. And then I'm going to make this just slightly bigger than the other ones here. So I'm going to go 1.25 for height. There. That should fit in just fine. Okay, and here's one of the ones that have 4 different images in the panels. So I'm going to change this to 1.25 instead of an inch. Give me more space there. And just stick that there. And all of these, the next like 3 images will be the ones with multiple frames. Just because they're recounting what's happening to some of the other Straw Hats. Since Luffy is off in Amazon Lily by himself. And we need to catch up. You know, they're catching up with what's going on with the other Straw Hats and what's happening to them. And it's like they'll do 2 Straw Hats per episode. So I just wanted to get the ones with the multiple frames in it. So we have an idea of what's going on with the rest of the crew. So we got Robin, Usopp, Brook, Chopper, Nami. I feel like I'm missing somebody. Frankie, Zoro, and Sanji. Yeah. Because it's a whole lot of shenanigans going on. While Luffy is off in Amazon Lily. Alright, so we're done with Amazon Lily, and I need to move on to Impel Down finally. So, going here, and I'm going into my Impel Down episodes, and I just want to make sure that I got everything right. Yeah, so 421 is the last in Amazon Lily, and then Impel Down will start for 22 episodes. And actually, what I'm going to do here is 422 actually starts a brand new week. And so I just want to separate it a little bit. So not that much, because like I said, I try to use up as much space as possible. So I'm just going to put it down a little bit so I know that these are the last week's images that I need, and this will be a new week's images that I need. So, and these, the second set of images should run from episodes 422 through 442. So let's get all of those down. This, I think I might want to, I'm going to do both, but I think I want to do it where I remove the background as well. So let's go back to this. Let's see. And it's a PNG, so this one should be able to remove it without me having to convert it to a different image type. And so as you can see, it has been done. Now we'll just do that and bring the image over here. So I'm ready to bring it into here. And I'm going to do this. I'm going to pull it up a little just so you can see. And this is when I'm offset it, and it's going to have to be bigger if I want it to include everything at once. So I'm going to have to change this offset to 0. I'm going to go 0.6 and see what that gives me. Okay, so I need it to be a little more if I want Luffy and Buggy connected here. And so I'm going to go 0.08. Still not enough. So I just do 0.1 and see what that gives me. And it's like barely connected there. Okay, so it's a lot, and I don't know if I like that. So what I'm going to do is do this. And I'm going to come here. This is going to take a little. I'm going to come here and I'm going to do select trace image. Okay, that's weird. Select trace area. Come on. That is so weird. Okay, let's try this again. All right, I'm pulling this in here. I'm gonna make it bigger so we can see what we're doing here. Let's try this again. Select trace image. I don't know why I was doing that. This is the first time I've ever seen it do that. Like, seriously. Okay, so I have Buggy and Luffy traced together. And I need to bring this up because I want them to be yellow. So I'll just bring this up over here. There. So they're all filled in. And what I'm going to do is hit trace and detach. That way the images detach from each other. And I can move them a little bit closer. All right. And now I'm going to group them together. And then offset. All right, now this should let me do a smaller offset, 0.06. Let's see what that gives me. Okay, yeah, see, they're connected there, and it's not too awful, that extra stuff around the string. So yeah, they're connected. Oh, good. Okay, good. So let me just group those together, and then I'm going to make this a little bit smaller. All right. That should be good. All right, so you can see that some of these may take a couple extra steps to get it the way that you want it. But yeah, and let me actually just bring this down because it might get me confused that it's not with the ones up here. So yeah, I'm just gonna bring this down a little bit and we just continue on. And this is another one I would typically lose the background on. However, I felt like this background was important to where they were at in particular in the story, so I did want to keep it. So go up here and hit 1, and then we're good. Okay, here's another one. As I said, AVIF. I do want to try to take the background out of this just as another option, but it's not saved as something that I can do here. So I'll show you what it says. Like, you have to only JPEG, PNG, and WEB. Oh, so they've added the WEB whatever images because they did not used to support that. Okay, but it's still not going to support AVIF. So I'm going here and I'll hit convert more files and drag this in here to pick JPEG, convert. Excuse me. All right, then I downloaded that and put it in here. And as I said, I go ahead and just delete the one that will not work, periods. No need me keeping 2 different files. And then try to come over here and get the background out of it with Sen, Goku, and Garp. And so there, well, it mostly got it. As you can see, it left this foolishness here. And that's not going to work for me. So I'm just going to scrap that idea and just go back to what I was doing. And we'll just end up using this as the next one. So here we have Luffy and Bon Clay's reunion. And I think I want to remove the background on this. So just in case, I'll give myself the option to keep it as is. And then let's see if it'll take this background off. And it did. So we're going to download this. Put this over here and then continue on here. And same thing with this, I need to do the offset, and that's a huge offset that we don't need. So I'm going to come down here and shorten it. So let's go 0.2 and see how that does. Yeah, that's good. And then say group together. And I like this image of these two because they are hilarious together. And so I'm just going to save it as 1.5 inches tall. So okay. And then we're going to continue on. As I said, I need to get through 442. And that'll be 2 weeks worth of stickers here that I have to journal. So, and I typically, when I'm doing my media journal, I typically journal 2 weeks worth of stickers at one time. Or either I'll, I put the video together as 2 weeks. So, yeah, anyway. So, continuing on. Let's do this. Listen, they had a time at Impel Down, okay? Okay, so this is my 2 weeks worth of images that I have here. And as I said, I do like to use up a whole entire page of stickers. And so I don't want to waste. And so instead of doing the rest of these here, I'm going to fill in the rest with other stickers and stuff. So like here, I might go ahead and make a couple copies of these just to have to place in different places in my other journals or whatever. And sometimes I'll adjust the height and width and stuff just to take up more room because I do love these pictures. So like here, Bind Clay and Luffy can be 2. This one, let's see, 1.5. And anything else up here that might be easier to use. So I'll take a copy of this, paste it. And that's basically just filling in the space so I'm not, let's do 2 here. So I'm not wasting paper because I don't, I'll use it somewhere eventually. That's a little too much, so let's try 1.75, 1.5. Let's see. Yeah, that fits within the bounds there. And so I'll just continue filling this up with different images and stuff. And sometimes I just go back and get older images, which is fine for me. So yeah, I don't mind that at all. So that's what I'm going to do, fill this up, and then we'll move on to the next part, which is the print and cut of this. So Impel Down, I'm just going to go here into my random and like OP memes and stuff, so like that. So anything that I like here, I will just put in. These 2 are hilarious, okay, especially when they're kids. Very kiddie, very like what, like I have questions. I have a theory about Ace and Luffy, but I don't want to say because I don't want to spoil anything, or I want to be surprised and I want other people to be surprised, and I could be totally wrong too. So yeah, anyway, I'm doing them together because they are hilarious. And here, I'm gonna put this here. Did I get it? Yeah, okay. So let's go back here and let them fill in some space. So Luffy and Ace when they were kids. And I might need to do what I did with the one with Buggy, and put them closer and then offset them. So that's what I'm going to do. Let's go here, select trace area. I wonder if it's going to do that weird thing again, and it did. Yeah, I've never seen it do that before in my life. So let's, come on. Okay, so I'm able to move that closer. I hate that it's doing this right now because it's malfunctioning. I mean, it did what I needed it to do, but it's doing something weird, so I couldn't really show you how to do this, except for that first time, even though it was still weird and wonky. Anyway, I detached them like I did the first one, and I'm moving them closer, and then I'm going to group them together again. And now I can offset them. And so they're a little bit closer now, but I want them to be a little more, I want the image to print out together. I don't know how to even explain it to you. I just want the sticker to come off as one sticker instead of in two different parts. So I'm going to change the offset again to a bigger offset. So that was at 20. So let's go 0 to 0, 4. Yeah, and it has both of them together here. So that should come off as one sticker, and I'm going to go here again, change the line color. And so this is what it should look like when it comes off. I'm going to group that together again. So, and then I'm going to make this bigger because this is just adorable, these two. It's like they have a lot of the same habits, and it cracks me up. Alright, so I got those two. Let's see, let's pick a couple more images. Who is this? Oh, this is Luffy and Zoro. So I do like this image. I don't know what that's about. And let's just do it at maybe 3. Will that fit? That will fit. So love that image. Let's bring it back up. Looks like we can fit one more in here. I love this picture of Sanji. It's hilarious. Okay, so I think the one that I want to go there is the brothers. So we'll put them there together. And this shouldn't be a problem as far as the offset. I should be able to lower that down 0.015 and it should be fine. So let's click this. And you just kind of get working with the silhouette, you kind of get a feel for what'll work and what won't work and how you need to adjust. It's not something I can really teach to you. It's just something that you kind of got to fill out for yourself. And so, yeah, that works and that fits right there perfectly. And so, yeah. So I'm done filling up this. I have 2 weeks worth of stickers that I need to journal here. And I still have another week that needs to get done. So this won't be journaled for a while, but I did want to show you in the tutorial. So I'm going to come here. And what I usually do is I need to go put some sticker paper in my printer. And how I print it is I go to File, Print here. And it'll bring up this little print screen. And it'll let you set everything up. Now sometimes my computer gets wonky, like you really have to jerry rig it, and so sometimes I'll have my sticker paper in there and it'll print out some weird thing that says stack and it messes up the sticker paper or whatever. So what I've had to start doing is put the sticker paper under a regular sheet of paper and then print out 2 copies. So if I get the stack thing, then it'll be on the regular paper and then my sticker paper prints out just fine. I don't know why it's doing that. It just, whatever. This is what works for me. So this is what I have to do. So I'm putting in that I want 2 copies. And then I like to come down here and this is the media quality. So I always choose labels and best, since labels is usually sticker paper. And I choose the best quality. And then I'll come in here and choose print. Okay, so I've switched from recording my screen. I think we got everything out that we needed to show you on the screen. And I will show you what I've using here, and then how I get everything print and cut. So basically these are the labels that I use. They are the Online Labels clear matte sticker paper. And as you can see, this is the number for it. It's OL177CX. And as you can see, this was 100 sheets. And look how thin I have gotten it down here. So I definitely need to put in a new order soon. I have done both. I've gotten it directly from the Online Labels website. And I've also gotten them from the Amazon, because they do carry these on Amazon. I will link those below in case anybody is interested. I get the ones specifically for laser printers because I have a laser printer. So definitely check and make sure that whatever labels that you get it's compatible to your printer system. So if you have an inkjet, you want to make sure you get clear matte sticker paper for inkjet printers. I have a laser, as I said, so I buy the one for lasers. So this is what I use. It will be linked below. I'll be linking the laser ones below. I'll link both so there's no confusion. But yeah, anyway, so that's it. That's this part of it. I'm going to go get the stickers printed, and then I'm going to print and cut on my silhouette. My silhouette is in the corner of my room, so I don't know how well I'll be able to record that, but I will do my best. So yeah, we'll see. Anyway, moving on, let's get this done. Okay, so we have it all printed out on my sticker paper here. Everything looks good. I love the colors, everything like that. So now it's time to print and cut them, or I should say cut them since we've done the print part. And so I just use a generic matte, it's fine. And so I will put this down here. I think I want to do it this way. And so I'm just going to line it up as best as I can here. And down the side. And I kind of like to come in and burnish the edges, just to get it down. Make sure everything is good and secure, and it's not going to come up on me. And that is that. And then here. And so once the burnishing and everything is done and I have it down on my mat, I need to come back into Silhouette Studio and I need to hit the send button. And so it'll give you this little screen here. And what I do for myself is I go to the lines. So I don't want any of the red to be cut. So what I do here is I come here. I want the purple to be cut, and I want the I forget, it's no lines or whatever, and it'll just give like a black line when you click that. So, and I want to click off of the red, so nothing in red gets print and cut. I mean, nothing gets cut in the red. And I also want to come over here and make sure I have the right sticker paper selected. As you can see, the last thing I did in here, I was using gloss sticker paper, so I definitely need to change this so the cut settings will be right, and change it to the clear matte sticker paper. And you can define all of that down here for yourself. So if you don't have it up here, there's a way you can go in and define that. So if you do this, like add new material, and you can add what it is and all the cut settings that you need. I'm not going to go through that here because that's a whole different ball game and not pertinent to this. So I'm just going to come down here and select clear matte sticker paper for this cut, and then also for the ones that's going to be cut in purple, I want it to be clear matte sticker paper as well. So I'm clicking that. So all the settings should be correct, and it'll show you down here Online Labels clear matte sticker paper, and these are the settings for it. Now sometimes I'll come in here and have it do 2 passes as far as cutting the paper, but I think I'm just going to leave it at 1 this time. And so yeah, this should be fine. And then I need to get it lined up with my get it lined up on my, what do you call it, silhouette. And then I will come here and hit send, and it should print. Well, it should cut. So yeah, anyway, I'm going to stop this part It's a lot of back and forth right now. So I'm going to stop this part. Okay, here's my silhouette. As I said, it's over in the corner of my room. So we got a tight space right here. And I am holding this handheld. So I'll do my best, but I'm making no promises here. And so basically what you want to do is get your mat lined up with this thing here on the side. And then you want to hit load. Okay, sorry, I'm all over the place. Anyway, it's loaded up, as you can see here. And then basically, I'm just going to go back to the computer. And I'm going to go back to the computer and hit send. And then it's going to cut and everything like that. Okay, so we have the silhouette all loaded up. And all I need to do is hit send. Let's hope this works and doesn't give me any issues as far as the cut marks, the registration marks. That's what they're called. Jesus Christ, I couldn't remember that. Anyway, as you should be able to hear, it's going off in the background. It's getting the marks registered, and then it should start cutting. Yeah. So we're on the cutting phase here. As you can see, this has changed down here from registration to cutting, and so we have that, and it should go through that cycle, and then I will show you once it's all print and cut and done. So we are done finally with the screen recording part of this journey, and so everything is all print and cut now. Yay! I can take this off the mat and I can show you. So if you were wondering, and here's what the sticker will look like when you take it up. So yeah, I'm just gonna leave that. But yeah, so it's all print and cut, everything's done. And so now I can come in here into my journal once I'm ready and start my next week. And I have the stickers ready to go. And as I said, I already have a week that needs to be done. This week still needs to be done. So I need to get that done, and then the next 2 weeks will be these stickers here that I printed out. So that pretty much is it for this. And as I've said before, I just use my pens here, the La Pens or the O3s, to write out everything like synopsises of what's going on through these episodes. I keep track of the episodes that I'm recording for each day. So this is what I watch for this day on the 14th, episodes 356 to 358, etc., etc. Any overflow goes over here. And yeah, so that is pretty much it for my anime or One Piece media journal. How I do it, how I set up the stickers, and whatnot. If you have any more questions or comments, then please leave those below. I trust you all have been safe and well. If you enjoyed this content, please consider liking, subscribing, and sharing. And I will catch you in the next one. I hope this was helpful. Bye.